Whew. Well, that was a productive day of work on my Big Bang mission video. But, I'm pretty beat. I'm just gonna go relax and play a classic Dragon Ball game. Ah, Budokai 3, my beloved. Oh man, the intro. I haven't seen this in so long, dude. You know, I'm just thinking, why would Frieza still be alive by the Buu arc? It just doesn't really make, too much sense how he'd live it. Wait, is that Kid Buu? But we just saw Oob earlier in the intro. Wait, why is Metal Cooler here? And why is Gohan only fighting him in Super Saiyan? What is happening? Hello, Internet. Welcome to Ball Knowledge, where we dissect the Dragon Ball series in ways it was never meant to be analyzed. I'm sure many of you booted up a Dragon Ball game, sat down, and thought, before I jump into the action, let me just watch the intro real fast. You gotta see if they cooked with the animation and soundtrack. Ooh, oh, those crispy Hironobu Kageyama songs. If you popped in Kakarot or something like Dragon Ball Origins, sure, everything lines up just like the show. But some of those classic games just do random stuff in the intros, I guess to create some memorable set pieces to stick in your brain. Now, if you're a normal person, you think, it's not supposed to be taken seriously, I'm just gonna turn my brain off and enjoy it. But have you seen this channel, man? I'm not normal. My brain don't work properly. When I look at these openings, I just try to imagine what kind of histories and events would lead to such ridiculous Dragon Ball worlds, and I'm gonna drag you along with me to theorize. The following material is not to be taken seriously, it is simply speculation for the fun of it. Please keep this in mind so we can be on the same page together. Do you guys understand? Good. So now I'm breaking down these openings and finding out the real truth Bandai Namco, Dimps, Spike Chunsoft, and all these other companies want to hide from us. This ends today. Okay, let's start off with Dragon Ball Dragon Daihikyo. Nothing much to really say here, it's just a title screen. On to the next one. Dragon Ball Shenlong no Nazo. Also just a title screen. Next, Dragon Ball Daimo Fukatsu. Alright, we're not doing this. The video isn't every Dragon Ball video game opening explained, it's just about ones I want to talk about. So if there's any opening I don't talk about that you wanted me to, feel free to tell me ones you find interesting. So now, let's head on into the next game. Dragon Ball Z Idainaru Dragon Ball Densetsu. You're gonna have to forgive me for the video quality for a lot of these. Especially this one, it's like a PlayStation game from 1996, what can I do? There isn't much to this opening, but I just wanted to share what happens at the end, which has twin dragons spawn out of the Dragon Balls. They then merge with a giant Purunga statue, thereby forming the dragon and bringing it into reality. I just think it was quite a unique way of showing the dragon being summoned. Kind of makes me wish there was a set of Dragon Balls with unique properties like this in the main series. Now for the first one with a real world to explore, the classic GT Final Bout opening. This game came out around the time GT was airing, so that was the series it focused on, but that's only towards the end of the opening. Goku is in his GT gi, yet everyone else is in their Buu arc incarnations. The classic Z villains are back, providing an uphill battle for our Z fighters. So Frieza and Cell are still alive, which is a common situation in these intros. They're kind of treated like cartoon villains who get defeated and are like, curse you, I'll be back to defeat you one day for sure, and they're never really put down for good. Super Buu can also just turn into Kid Buu at will, which is really funny. He really didn't want to lose himself in Z, just for him here to go, oh, that boy Gohan is stomping me? Fine, I'll lose all my brain cells to win. And, Gohan, that was the human extinction attack? I think a lot of innocent people just died and you didn't really try to stop that? And are you sure you don't care? Not even a little? Okay. Each Z warrior seemingly wins their battles when the smoke clears, you know, symbolism and all that. I guess that also means Cell was off-screened by Piccolo, and if so, good for you, buddy. But then that silly guy Vegeta, who wasn't seen helping not even a single time, gives Goku a little smirk and then jumps him after the villains are all gone. Ooh, I hate this guy. Nah, I'm just kidding. I love you, buddy. Nothing much to say about the GT section other than the implication that all the previous villains still lived to terrorize the world around this time. I guess that'll shake up the Super 17 arc somewhat, like none of the main villains are down in hell. What's interesting is that Trunks uses a sword despite never using one in GT outside of the opening. Tapion's influence still persists to this day. Also, unless B had puppies at some point, this dog never aged a day in his life. The first Budokai intro is just Chala Head Chala, but the second game is when things get interesting. It's also got my favorite opening song from the games. Sadly, I can't play any of the songs here. I'm sorry. This clearly takes place in a post-Buu arc era, thanks to some of the designs and the fact Goku can go Super Saiyan 3. There's some inconsistencies though, like Kid Gohan and Android Arc Vegeta, but they don't stay long. It's got the fun premise of the Z-Fighters finding the Dragon Balls, with the crew gathering up and having fun interactions together. Seeing Yamcha, Ulan, and Bulma searching for the Dragon Balls feels like good times all over again. Hold on, why is she wearing her Namek outfit? Boy, she doesn't need the Dragon Balls to look younger this time. Or maybe she does, and that's why she looks younger. And maybe that's why she's so adamant about finding them. Future Trunks also shows up for this one shot and then never again. I guess he must be on vacation from the future. It's unclear if the old antagonists that show up in this sequence of events are like from the past, or if this is all currently happening, as this game's story is bizarre enough for that to be the case. If you've ever played this game, you know Gohan is already an adult in the Saiyan arc, and every story immediately takes place after the last. In fact, in my first playthrough, Gohan was the only character who unlocked Super Saiyan. Meanwhile, Goku and Vegeta were still only normal base Saiyans by the fight with Kid Buu. I think I still have yet to beat the Kid Buu fight to this day. And it doesn't help that neither of my dudes know how to go Super Saiyan. Since it plays fast and loose with its setting, it's why the game gets a lot of what-ifs that never returned in Budokai 3. It's a strange story that is dependent on your choices, and therefore it stands out between the Budokai games. Might be worth making a video on in the future. Even though Majin Buu is causing havoc under the watchful eye of Babidi and Dabura, it appears Kid Buu is already a separate entity causing chaos. So we need our heroes to lock in and stop him, but look, these two meatheads can't stop fighting for even one dang second. They're already wearing the Patara, so they know their punches wouldn't connect. I guess since this is, you know, working under pre-super rules, Vegeta was like, Kakarot, before we merge permanently together, I wanna punch you in the face one last time. You're on, Vegeta! Goku and Kid Buu's battle on Earth is so intense that even stray ki blasts cause insane damage. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't recall a Kamehameha slicing something in this way, so Goku made that thing extra sharp for some reason. Nothing good old Dende can't fix though. With the help of all his friends, Goku defeats the demon with a spirit bomb and summons the Eternal Dragon for a wish. All of Goku's friends are there, including Bulma, Krillin, Piccolo, Goten, Trunks, and... what is that? Is that you, Gohan? Put on a shirt, man. That style is only reserved for, like, Krillin and Yamcha. It looks disgusting on you. Budokai 3. Now this is a PlayStation 2 classic. It just radiates the feel of good vibes that I love in later Dragon Ball, with friends and family coming together as they fly throughout the Dragon Ball world. The whole game's here to celebrate, showing all our favorite characters. Bulma, Hercule, Tien, Launch, Videl with her fight shirt on but it has the wrong colors, Piccolo, Krillin, Oob, Goten, wait, Oob? What are you doing here? The Saiyan children are much too young in comparison, and you're shown in the trailer before Kid Buu? Are you two, like, separate entities in this world? And Gohan, I'm not asking again. For the love of God, wear an undershirt. Like with Final Bout, we see some nasty ne'er-do-wells still alive in this time, as if they're recurring villains. Unlike before, though, it's a coordinated attack, and they seem to be stronger than ever. Frieza seemingly off-screens Goku, Vegeta gets one-shot by Cell, Kid Buu obviously stomps Gotenks, and Super Saiyan Gohan loses to Metal Cooler. Oh no, the seeds were already planted. He was losing potential unleashed long before Battle of Gods and Resurrection of F. Goku and Vegeta need to fuse to fight Broly, who does something unthinkable nowadays. While we see Vegito and Gogeta usually play around with their opponent, only really taking damage for the fun of it, Broly here makes Gogeta bleed and genuinely worried. He needs to use a Super Kamehameha to eliminate him for good, meaning he was thankfully more powerful than the hulking brute. But the fact it was even portrayed this close is kind of crazy. This universe must operate under the logic that Broly was the strongest Z villain, which would explain why he could push Gogeta to this extreme. Where did the other villains go, you're probably wondering? I mean, they probably got scared when they saw Universal Tier Broly of all people get disintegrated in one attack. Though we know the true villain of this story is Omega Shenron, with Z Goku being able to reach Super Saiyan 4 to fight him. This is accurate to the story, as Goku and Vegeta can enter a spot on the map that awakens the form within them, so it lines up well with the intro. I wonder why Omega is here though. I guess by GT logic, the 7 dragon summons have already been used by the end of the Buu arc, so the Shadow Dragons would be born with the next summoning. Hopefully Goku and friends can put a stop to him and keep the world safe. Now we're on to Budokai Tenkaichi. In the Rocky Plains, we once again watch the Z-Fighters fight their arch-villains. Like in Budokai, we see the power scaling is quite different from the norm, with full power Frieza evenly matched with what we assume is Super Saiyan Vegeta. I only say that because the difference between 1 and 2 is minor or non-existent on the Prince's design, so for all we know he could be Super Saiyan 2 and full power Frieza is even with that. Cell had created an army of Cell Juniors. As we know, his children are only slightly weaker than him, which makes their countless numbers a horrifying thought if they weren't up against Ultimate Gohan and Piccolo's amazing teamwork. Also, the human extinction attack might have helped. Goku and Kid Buu enter another dimension while spamming instant transmission, just like the Metal Cooler fight in the Return of Cooler movie. They also interrupted the Kamehameha against Cell, meaning unless Gohan was charging that for a crazy long time, this extra dimension scuffle took place in an actual instant. Despite being a Super Saiyan 2, Goku's able to use a Super Kamehameha to completely engulf Super Buu's Death Ball force field attack, so he was able to seal the deal in a way even Buu Arc Super Saiyan 3 Goku couldn't. After the smoke clears, Vegeta wastes no time challenging Goku, doing their classic back and forth and leading to the funniest adaptation of these two panels. Tenkaichi 2 was my first Dragon Ball game, and my first proper Dragon Ball experience in general, so its opening holds a special place in my heart. And since this was my first real exposure to the series, I never knew how strange the storytelling of this opening was at the time. Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks fight Frieza, Cell, Super Buu, and a few surprise guests afterwards.
Where's Broly? Where's the cool guy? Where's Bio Broly? You two don't even know each other. Where's him? Who's this guy? Turles! Stop right there.
Turles, Android 13, and Grade 8 Baby all make appearances, so the world building is pretty confusing as to when this takes place. Is it the Buu arc because of Buu and Vegeta's design? Is it GT because of Baby? How is Baby, Vegeta, and Vegeta in separate bodies? Future Trunks and Vegeta use the time chamber together, so I guess they found some time to train for the threats ahead. Then we see Baby and Cell are just chilling on the Supreme Kai's planet. I'm sure Kibito Kai and the old man are hiding somewhere or teleported away, cause that's a god-killing combo right there. More importantly though, what are they doing? Are they just having a chat? What would they even talk about together?
Finally got rid of those pesky gods.
Now this is one less area that pesky Goku and his friends can run off to.
And then I can finally exact my revenge on the disgusting monkey filth.
Huh? What do you mean? You sound a lot like Frieza with that kind of talk.
Don't compare me to that tyrannical dictator. Those barbaric Saiyans took everything from me, and I won't rest until every last trace of them is wiped from existence.
Okay, well, this was quite the pleasant chat. I think I'll just go find Goku and his friends.
Yes, very well. Wait, You were my ride! Where'd you go? And I'm stuck on this planet! No!
And then everyone just groups together at the end, like they're all just chummy best friends or co-workers. Maybe everyone here is just a paid actor on set doing a job. This is a meta story and they're all just putting on a performance? Hope Bandai Namco gives them a big payout because pretty good performances. They had me convinced. Not too much story to glean here, but Tenkaichi 3 has an iconic opening with some fun power scaling. I like the implication that Goku and Gohan train together still, something we don't really get much of anymore. Ultimate Gohan's existence proves this timeline must be past the Buu arc, but with one caveat. Buu apparently hasn't turned over a new leaf, willing to destroy cities and kill innocents for fun. Makes you wonder how the arc went down, as potentially Mr. Satan wasn't able to reform the cute fella, and now, oh my god Vegeta, there's no way you think you're doing a 1v2 against Janemba and Broly. Gohan seems to be an even match with Janemba, which actually makes sense. Ultimate Gohan should theoretically be stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku in the Buu arc, and Janemba stood zero chance against Gogeta. If he's continuously training, there's a chance he lies closer to Janemba in power than Goku. This is also one of the only openings Goku doesn't actually fight in. He sees that Majin Buu, Janemba, and Broly are on the field, and is like, yeah, no, we're not doing this today. Fusing with Vegeta frame 1. Once again, Broly is portrayed as close to Gogeta in power, making him a terrifying threat if fusion wasn't on the table. Gotenks should be able to beat Majin Buu in Super Saiyan 3, as long as he doesn't play around too much. And the fighters really don't mess around here, as the battle heats up so much they bake the surface of the earth to a fine crisp. Send your love and prayers to the poor Earthlings who have to endure this. Sadly, we're skipping Burst Limit, despite how much I love it, because that opening is just a compilation of the main series fights. But instead of the Budokai series successor, we're gonna look at their final entry, Infinite World. Hey, maybe they'll bring Budokai back in the future, like they did for the Sparking series. Though, Dibs probably just wants to solely focus on Xenoverse 3 for Dragon Ball, so probably not. This seems to be a happy post-Buu arc world, where all the Z-Fighters can spend time chilling together, gathering the Dragon Balls for fun, and enjoying the peace they fought hard for. Even the old sticks-in-the-mud Piccolo and Vegeta seem to be pumped to go on the Dragon Ball hunt. While it's clearly a Buu arc era world, the setting is not without its strange quirks. Like Majin Buu working with the villains, Gohan still teaching Videl how to use Ki, and strangest of all, Kami is separated from Piccolo. I'm guessing they just didn't fuse together, which makes me wonder how they navigated fighting Imperfect Cell and keeping the androids from finding Goku. Like always, the villains return, and once again they're joined by Omega Shenron. While you may assume he's responsible for the revival of the villains present, it's important to note that the Shadow Dragons cannot grant wishes. Shenron's Japanese name, Shenlong, means divine dragon or godly dragon. It's why the wish-granting deities are sometimes called eternal dragons in the dub. The Shadow Dragons are known as the Jaku Ryu, or Evil Dragons. So while they're also born of the Dragon Balls and utilize their energy, these beings are not dragon gods, so I doubt Omega and the others can grant wishes. Dragon lesson aside, his presence along with heavy hitters like Broly, Cell, Buu, and Janemba mean our heroes have to go all out, right? No actually. The ones who can transform only go up to Super Saiyan and seem to do just fine. The power scaling of this world is highly tilted in the Z-Fighter's favor, and Goku can even create a Spirit Bomb while transformed. And a moon-sized one at that. I think I know what they should be using that Dragon Ball wish for. Also, I guess Buu was either messing around earlier, or they turned him into a good guy afterwards. What a little rapscallion. The Tenkaichi spiritual successor, Raging Blast, has a pretty simple opening, but with some interesting details. Cell vs. Gohan goes about how you'd expect, and an assumedly Kami-fused Piccolo nonchalantly challenges Frieza. But when we cut to the Supreme Kai's world, things get interesting. Future Trunks is fighting Kid Buu somehow, and needs saving from his dad, who is still a Majin. Boo seems surprised at his power, making it unclear if the gap between them is small, or the little demon is just messing around like usual. Does this mean we're jumping between arcs and Trunks just happens to be in this world's Boo saga? Or did Babidi awaken Majin Buu and possess Vegeta much earlier in the timeline, like the Android arc? Hard to say. The opening continues a trend this generation of games established, where Broly is consistently intimidated by Super Saiyan 2 Goku. Seems he's been nerfed from the level of Gogeta that the previous games placed him at, with Goku himself being enough to handle the demonic Saiyan. In the sequel game, we see the Z-Fighters face the movie villains in an all-out brawl. Somehow, our boy Cooler can prove a challenge for Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and Super Saiyan Goku can fight impressively against Janemba. Though, Vegeta was also able to surprise the demon in the movie, so maybe he's just caught off guard like he was there. But if not, I guess the movie villains are a little closer in power here, rounding out to be like Super Perfect Cell level strength. However, the main threat one-shots the other villains, revealing the grand return of Hachiok from plan to eradicate the Saiyans. I guess in this world he's more of a Boo arc level threat because the Z-Fighters are seemingly unprepared to take him on. With this next opening, we get a look at the world of Age 1000, at least until Xenoverse 3 gives us another take on the era. My Dragon Ball Online lore video can give you some more info as to how we get here, so I'm just gonna roll along and assume you know some of the info from that. We witness characters presumably raised in the troublemaker education system exploring the world, searching for Dragon Balls, and sharing memories together. Considering the amount of terrible events plaguing the world this year, it's nice to see some people can still enjoy everyday life and find happiness in this war-torn world. These youths join the Time Patrol and assist Goku in his battle with Vegeta, as sinister forces continue to scheme in the background. The second opening focuses on the World Tournament, as a young adult Earthling and Namekian prepare for their match and reminisce on the times they've spent together. It's good to see the sport alive and well hundreds of years later. Compared to the heroes in our first opening, these new characters appear to be veterans of combat. The fight between these two is dead even, astounding the audience as the intensity rises. Despite the world being vastly aware of Ki now compared to hundreds of years ago in regular Dragon Ball, this is still a level of battle the people of Earth are not used to. They then show one of my favorite examples of speed blitzing ever, where they appear to charge at each other in slow motion, but in reality they're zipping across the battlefield. They then clash, with the Earthling going Super Saiyan and the Namekian using the red-eyed form. Someday I should actually play online and do a proper video on it, as there's a whole world to explore. And of course, I'm curious what will be brought back in Xenoverse 3. And now for another wacky scenario, this time with some surprise guests. In Ultimate Tenkaichi's opening, the Z-Fighter roster is quite diverse. Despite Goku being able to go Super Saiyan 3, Vegeta having his Boo arc design, and Gotenks existing, the other Z-Fighters all come from the Android arc. This includes a Super Saiyan 2 Teen Gohan, which means he was either born later in the timeline, or Goten and Trunks were born earlier. Along with them are two of the default designs of the created character for the Hero mode.
And after tomorrow night, I'll be my own man.
They seem to be budding Z-Fighters, not used to the wonders of this world just yet. However, they can already go Super Saiyan and help their friends in the fight against the classic villains. And speaking of, the Frieza Force attacks Earth, bringing an untold number of Cybermen to assist them. The Ginyu Force are made short work of, with Vegeta making sure he went 5 for 5 by eliminating Ginyu. The battle with Frieza is one of the earliest clips I associated with Naotoshi Shida's animation, cause the motion here just has his signature touches. Kid Buu fights Super Saiyan Vegeta, which reminds me of the fact this game has Super Vegeta, but not Super Saiyan 2 for the Prince. How do you reuse the assets from the Raging Blast series, and yet deprive Vegeta of a form he had since the first game? Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks faces an unknown Great Ape, who could either be one of our new heroes going berserk, or is a completely new Saiyan. Goku fights Hirudegarn, this time instantly exploding him with the Dragon Fist instead of coiling around him and atomizing the beast. Omega Shenron, back for more, I see. But as Goku goes to face him in level 3, he reappears on screen as Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Omega and Gogeta are the only GT characters in the game, which makes the context for this scene kinda confusing. How could this be possible if Goku and Vegeta don't have Super Saiyan 4? But I guess we can explain it away with another character that is in this trailer, Gotenks. He proves that even if the Fusees can't access a form, it doesn't mean the fusion itself can't reach it. Though neither Goku nor Vegeta, or even Fusion Reborn Gogeta have a tail, I don't think it's impossible for him to go Super Saiyan 4. Battle of Z has a simple opening, but it continues the bizarre world building similar to Ultimate Tenkaichi. While the start seems like a normal Buu era scenario against Harudagarn, the next scene shows Buu Arc Goku, presumably Battle of Gods Vegeta, Future Trunks, and Teen Gohan. Despite Son Gohan being this young, just like before, Goku can go Super Saiyan 3. This means he must have been training like crazy since Frieza, Cell, Kid Buu, and Broly are easily parried without breaking a sweat. The rest of the trailer is Goku vs Beerus, which means this whole trailer is either in the Battle of Gods era, or we just transitioned from the Buu arc to this fight. This one is like the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Everyone is Here of openings. That's because Extreme Butoden allows you to use countless assist characters, meaning everyone is involved in the fight. This is reflected in the opening where we see these characters exist in the same world together. The Z Fighters are chilling, Tien faces Mercenary Tao as launch watches, Dr. Gero and Android 8 battle it out in a game of chess, and many other characters appear as well. Goku lands next to all his friends and allies, facing every foe he's ever fought up to this point, plus Omega Shenron. I guess all these characters got wished back somehow, or the Z Fighters have been on a pacifist run their entire career. Since everyone gets in on the action, this might be one of the most chaotic timelines yet. And now we're at the last game, for now anyways, Sparking Zero. It seems to be set in a post-Super Broly movie era, or at least after the Tournament of Power. The only oddity is Super Baby 2, and he appears to be evenly matched with Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. Jiren initially fights Goku before Broly fights both of them together, making it seem like they're rogue agents unassociated with the Goku Black Baby Vegeta Frieza team-up. There's not much world building to go off of, but that changed with the new DLC. Not only do we get a new opening there, but the new game mode gives us a story where we are told that Zeno summons warriors from across space and time for a big tournament on Earth. This gives every character a reason to show up, no matter the version they are or the era they come from. We now see the battlefield has become an Avengers Endgame level final battle, with the heroes leading the charge being the two main Saiyan families. The villains seem to have a central hierarchy, which appears to be Frieza, Bojack, Super 17, and Z Broly, and Baby Vegeta and Goku Black are sometimes shown there as well. I gotta wonder what's going on through the heads of the people seeing these other fighters way out of their league, like Nam, General Blue, Kid Goku, etc. Funny enough, base form Bardock deflects a death beam that Super Saiyan Blue Goku was scared of, so this version of him has quite the upscale. He's gotta at least have mid-tier Tournament of Power level of strength, like some multiversal scale Bardock. The villains and heroes do one final beam struggle, leaving the winning team up to your imagination. Or, you know, you could just do the fight yourself to decide it, but I'm not your boss, I don't know, what do I care? But that could be said for every one of these openings. You could probably recreate them some way, somehow. And that's another reason that makes them so special. I've always been fascinated at the stories created in Dragon Ball intros, as these animations are not easy to make. A team has to come up with the idea and bring it to life. It's no overnight deal. So I like examining the details and little quirks each one has, even if it's not really meant to be taken seriously. But really, what's the fun in that? I like thinking about how these scenarios could be plausible, as it satisfies an itch in my brain. And that's pretty much all I gotta say on the topic. I just wanted to make another fun video before I finish my next Heroes breakdown, so I hope you enjoyed another episode of my insane ramblings. I think I'll just hunker down and work on the next video.
on, Lord Beerus. Please take this seriously. Don't fall asleep on me.